Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, fear. What is fear? When do we use it? Is it useful? We're going to talk all about it. So, number one, why do we have fear? In my opinion, we have fear because, you don't want to do something stupid when you're close to the edge of a cliff. Jumping out of airplanes, if you're not in the military, is not too wise. So fear is good in these instances to keep you alive and to survive, basically. You don't go to the zoo and jump the fence and start petting bears and lions because they look nice, right? That's when your common sense and fear should kick in, right? When you're going hiking in the woods and you see a bear following you and you go up and you talk to it, that's not too smart. Your fear should kick in this instant. But let's talk about fear in our daily lives. So, fear of people. What are the type of fears that we are supposed to have as Muslims and supposed to have as people? Well, we're being told constantly in the Quran to have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to have fear of Allah. Now, today, there's a lot of us that don't have that fear of Allah, but we have fear of people. We have fear of people. We have fear of being seen as a Muslim. And when we go into grocery stores or we see another Muslim in the mall or something, we don't say Assalamu alaikum because, oh my God, everybody's going to know that we're Muslim. Good that they know that you're Muslim. People need to see that you're proud to be a Muslim in the first place. You don't need to hide that. Who cares what they think about Islam, what they think about you, what they think about your country? It doesn't matter. They're proud of being who they are. You should be proud of who you are as well. So there's a lot of unnecessary fear in our lives. I hear people saying, well, Ali, I wish that I, was a truck driver like you. I could pull over on the side of the road and pray whenever I want. I can go to Juma. My boss doesn't really, let me go out and pray, for Dhuhr and Asr. And, it's not that he's not letting you. You're afraid of your boss. You're afraid of what people might think if you go out in the parking lot underneath a tree or on the side of your car or behind your car and you pray. You're afraid of people. You're afraid of what they might say. You're afraid of people looking at you. But as humans, and especially as Muslims, we are to fear nobody except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Period. And we really have to stop living like this. Non-Muslims have to see that we're prideful, in this case, of being a Muslim, not being egotistical or arrogant or anything like that. They need to see that we are proud of who we are. We're proud of being from, America. I'm a Muslim from America, from Norway, from Africa, from the Middle East, from Pakistan, wherever you're from. You don't have to hide that. When the 300 stood at the Battle of Badr, just think about it. You and I, all of us, we came from that. If these 300 if they succumbed to fear on that day, they would, I wouldn't be a Muslim, you wouldn't be a Muslim. It's because they stood, and this is not a call for violence or anything. It's an example of why we shouldn't be fearful, right? These 300 stood against 1,000. Now just think, put yourself in that mindset right now. 313 people standing against 1,000 people that want to kill you. Not only that, you were the only Muslims on the planet. Think about it. That's the realest of the real. The ones who stood on that day and they stood their ground and rose were the realest of the real. They were Badri and they were promised Jannah. So if they didn't stand their ground, if they succumbed to, oh my God, we're outnumbered, oh my God, they don't like me. Listen, even before that, when they had the persecution of the Muslims and the oppression of Muslims in Mecca, they weren't afraid. They were getting tortured. They were getting starved out. They were getting embargoes placed on them. But they didn't. Oh, brother, are you Muslim? No. I mean, understandably, in that time, they were torturing people. They were killing people. They were oppressing people. But you and I don't have any of that today. Worst case scenario, somebody might call you, oh yeah, go back to wherever you're from. Oh, you Muslim, whatever. That's the worst thing that they can do to you. Who cares if they dislike you? Who cares what they think? If they're gonna have a bad perception about you or Islam in the first place, they're gonna, even if they hide it, if they say it or they hide it, they still don't like you, so who cares? You see what I'm saying? Whether they keep quiet about their hatred of Islam or Muslims, or they're vocal, what does that have to do with you? What is this when we come inside of the malls and a brother sees another brother and you can see that we're Muslims and we just say, I mean, it's almost like you purposely divert your eyes as if it's a beautiful woman or something and you don't speak to each other. Why is that? I came up to, this is one time that it happened to me, to a brother who was, I'm not going to say where he's from. And I said, hey man, assalamu alaikum. And people were around. I didn't care because I'm giving the greeting, assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Easy, normal. To me it is. And he looked at me and he went, and he took it, we're in the grocery store. He took his shopping cart and he went down the aisle. And I said to myself, I know he's Muslim. I know he's Muslim. But why didn't he return my salam? And so, whatever, I go around about my business. I do it, my thing. And I was in a section that was away from people. And he comes up to me and he says, excuse me. And I said, oh, hey, what's up? And he said, first of all, wa alaikum salam. I said, bro, why are you whispering? Because, we're in America and people, I said, man, I don't care. I'm an American. Nobody's going to slaughter you. Nobody's going to throw you in jail. Yes, brother, but Muslims aren't that popular today. Bro, are you serious? Like, are you being serious with me right now? Who cares? That's the main point of what I want to say today. I don't want to take too long. Fear is for staying alive. Fear is for doing the right thing. Fear is for fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over everything else. Oh, if I go to the job, people pray, they might mock me. Would you rather people mock you or miss your salah? Do you care about Rabb al-Alameen, or do you care about your stupid boss who is insignificant in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when it comes to your salah? We need to start standing up and saying, yes, I'm a Muslim. I'm going to step out real quick for a 15-minute break or whatever, or hey, if you give us 10 minutes breaks every day, I'm going to be using those 2 minutes or 3 minutes for prayer. Okay? That's it. Oh, well, we don't have any place to... Well, I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. I'm a Muslim and I'm a practicing Muslim. And go outside. You don't have to stand up on the sink or, something crazy like that. Just go outside. Just go outside and pray. Right? Stop being afraid of people. Those 313 that stood at Badr, they weren't afraid of anything. and they stood in the face of certain death. But they knew what they had to do, and they had to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even more. So stop being afraid. Start being afraid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Start being afraid of what you say. Start being afraid of what you text to people on social media. That you should be very afraid of. Fear, in this instance, is a smart thing to do. What you say, be fearful. What you listen to, what you see, be fearful. What you do on a daily basis, fear what you do that is bad. Right? Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is basically what I'm saying. So let's start today. You have nothing to be afraid of. In my opinion, fear is a waste of time. Fear crushes your dreams. It disables growth on what you want to do or who you want to be or where you want to go. Fear will really set you back and it will really hold you back. Well, it really doesn't hold you back. You're the one that's holding yourself back. You're the one who's doing that based on fear. So brothers and sisters, don't be fearful. Accept of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what you do, what you say, what you see, what you hear, all of those things. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.